At 5:47 a.m. in Wilson County, North Carolina, the air still holds last night's heat. August here doesn't cool, it stacks, layer on layer, day after day, until the whole county feels like the inside of a curing barn. 18 workers are already moving through the rows, flashlights on headbands, gloves already damp. The tobacco stands tall, 6, 7 feet in places, and the bottom leaves are ready. You can see it without a moisture meter. The leaf has gone from deep green to a yellow-green, soft at the edges. That color is the signal. Miss it, and the grade drops. Catch it right, and the price holds. This field covers 420 acres. It will be harvested 5 times over the next 8 weeks. Not the whole field at once. Row by row, leaf by leaf, bottom to top. That's how tobacco works. North Carolina produces roughly 40% of all flue-cured tobacco grown in the United States. The eastern counties, Wilson, Pitt, Johnston, Lenoir, carry most of that weight. Flat land, sandy loam, heat that builds from June and doesn't quit until October. The harvest window opens in late July. For most farms, the last pass won't be complete until mid-September. There is no combine for this, no machine that strips a stalk clean in a single pass. The harvest here is sequential, biological almost. Each plant ripens from the ground up. The bottom leaves mature first, then the next tier, then the primed upper leaves near the top. A crew returns to the same rows 3, 4, sometimes 5 times before a single plant is finished. That rhythm, that week-by-week return, is what defines tobacco country in August. The crew this morning is led by a man named Carlos, who has worked Eastern Carolina harvests for 19 years. He started as a primer at 17. Now he sets the pace, reads the leaves, and decides when a row is ready. He doesn't use a phone to check anything. He walks the row once, pinches a leaf between 2 fingers, checks the stem for the waxy feel that means the chlorophyll is breaking down. He knows. Too green, you lose half a grade. Too yellow, they dock you on the barn floor. The window between those 2 states is roughly 3 to 5 days. In August heat, sometimes less. The crew moves in formation. Each primer works a row, moving sideways through the plants, both hands working simultaneously. Left hand steadies the stalk. Right hand snaps the leaf at the stem. Clean pull, no tearing. Torn leaves grade lower. By 8 a.m. the first trailer is loaded. The trailers haul to the curing barn before the leaves wilt. Timing matters here too. Leaves that sit in the heat before curing begin to degrade. The farm runs 3 barns, bulk curing units, each one capable of holding 5,000 to 6,000 pounds of green leaf. Inside, metal racks hold the harvested leaves in dense layers. The door seals. The cycle begins. Day 1. Forced warm air circulates at around 95 degrees Fahrenheit. The leaves begin to lose moisture slowly, without losing color. Day 2 and 3. Temperature rises to 120, then 135. The yellowing process completes. This is where flue-cured tobacco earns its name. Heat applied from below, circulated evenly, never direct flame on the leaf. Day 4 through 6. Temperature climbs toward 165, 170 degrees. The moisture in the leaf stem drives off. The tobacco becomes brittle dry, a deep amber gold. Day 7. The barn cools. Humidity returns slightly, enough to rehydrate the stem so the leaf can be handled without shattering. Then the barn door opens. The cycle repeats. Meanwhile, back in the field, the second tier of leaves is approaching peak. Carlos walks the rows again. He's looking for the same signals, the yellowing margin, the soft leaf surface, the slight curl at the tip that says the plant is ready to give. 2 days, maybe 3. Then the crew comes back through. This is the rhythm that defines August in tobacco country. Not one long push, but a sustained rotation, harvesting, curing, re-entering, harvesting again. The same fields, the same plants, different leaves. By the 3rd pass, the stalk looks bare on the bottom. The upper leaves are still dark green, still weeks away. A tobacco plant in mid-harvest is a strange sight. Stripped below, full above, like something half-finished, half-done, waiting. The labor math is demanding. On a 420-acre farm running 5 passes, the crew will collectively cover more than 2,000 acres of ground before the season ends. Most of that on foot, most of it bent at the waist. The primers work fast, but fast in tobacco is not the same as fast in wheat country. There's no machine rhythm to match, just body rhythm, the pull, the snap, the shuffle sideways, the turn and stack. Hands moving while feet move. Eyes reading the next leaf before the current one is fully off the stem. By 10 a.m., the heat has reached 94 degrees. Workers drink from water jugs every 30 minutes. Shade doesn't exist in a tobacco row. The plants are tall enough to block the breeze, but not tall enough to shelter from direct sun. Gloves wear through by midday. Most primers carry 2 pairs. At the barn, the farm manager checks the first curing cycle. Moisture probe reads 13%. That's close. He gives it 4 more hours before pulling the batch. Tobacco that comes out of the barn too moist will mold in storage. Too dry, it crumbles during grading. The tolerances are narrow. They've always been narrow. The first load, roughly 5,200 pounds, green weight, has cured down to around 900 pounds of finished leaf. That's the ratio. Tobacco is mostly water. The barn takes the water. What's left is value. The grading floor is the next stop. Leaf is sorted by stalk position. Bottom leaves grade differently than top leaves. Color uniformity matters. Damage matters. Cure completeness matters. A skilled grader can work through a pile in minutes. She's been doing it for 11 years. Her hands barely slow. She doesn't look at each leaf so much as register it. One motion, one category, one pile. The pace is mechanical, but the knowledge underneath it is deep. Grades determine price. Prices determine whether the farm breaks even or turns a margin. On a 420-acre operation running 5 passes, the difference between consistent grading and careless grading can mean tens of thousands of dollars across a season. By the 5th and final pass, typically in late August or early September, the stalks are stripped bare. The upper leaves, called the tips, have finished. Some farms cut the entire stalk at this point and process it separately. Others prime the tips by hand, as they did every leaf before them. Either way, the field that was planted in April, transplants set by hand, one by one, in rows 3.5 feet apart, is now finished. The barn runs its final cycle. The grading floor works through the last batch. The season's weight is counted. 420 acres, 5 passes, roughly 2,200 to 2,400 pounds of cured leaf per acre. On a good year. On this farm, this August, the numbers held. Carlos walks the empty field on a Thursday afternoon. The stalks stand bare and bone dry. The harvest is over. He pulls off his gloves, rolls them together, tucks them into his back pocket. Next week, he'll be in Virginia. A farm there is 2 weeks behind Wilson County. Different latitude, slightly cooler nights. The second-tier leaves will just be hitting peak. He'll recognize the signal when he sees it. He always does. The field is quiet again. Until next season. Under this video, there's a subscribe button. It's a small action, but it helps document the work that happens before the shelves are stocked. If you're drawn to the rhythm of the harvest, to the crews who move with the seasons, subscribing simply means you want to see how America feeds itself. And tell us, where are you watching from? Have you ever worked a harvest? Have you seen one? Share your experience below. That's how these stories travel.